And welcome back to this week's episode of the Broken Kid Podcast. I know it's been a while, but more than anything, I would like to say that I'm glad to be back. I was just taking a little break, probably like a week since my last video upload. I know that on this channel that's pretty weird because I usually upload every day, but I am more than happy to be back. I just need to take a little break creatively. You'll look at this in and out drip. I got it. Anyhow, I'm not going to say how. You can only get this if you work there, but I don't work there, obviously. And, yeah, you know, I'm just excited to be back, but I was thinking, I was having a discussion with my friend, and we were talking about random things, and he happens to work at In-N-Out, and we were just talking about, I don't know, we were talking about a lot of stuff, and then one thing led to another, it didn't lead to kissing, it led to talking about horror movies, and we were talking about how some of these horror movies are weird, and not like in not the bloody way, or like there's a lot of violence. We were talking, it was weird in the sense of it hits you with an unexpected curve, not a plot twist, but more so like let's say you're watching I'll say what movie we're talking about. We were talking about that movie The Visit, which, if you know what it is, this is when I was 15, everybody has a teenage crush, like a celebrity crush. My crush was a little different, and it lies in the movie The Visit. And if you know what movie I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan's movie The Visit, where these two kids go see their grandparents, and you know, they start acting weird. They kind of start acting like Joe Biden in the 2024 election campaign thing, where he was like, and we're gonna be talking about tennis and those vaccine shots are not very good. And not to get political, but that's kind of what they were acting like, you know. And we were talking about that movie and how leading up to it, it was very creepy. It was just confusing because nobody really knows what's going on. Why are these parents acting this way? And there's a scene in there where, you know, he does his Kurt Cobain. He's about to do his Kurt Cobain moment, you know, where he's got the shotgun in the mouth and he's ready to like pull the trigger. And it's really funny because then the kid walks in and hey, boom. Now there's two scenes that I'm talking about. But my crush as a kid growing up wasn't Taylor Swift. I don't think anybody's crush is Taylor Swift. And you can come for me, Swifties, I don't care. But, no. Come on, Juanita. Look at this cute dog. It's a dog. I got her off the street. Look. Should I just hold her for the rest of the video like this, like a baby? She's got little raccoon feet. But yeah, she doesn't really have much in her brain. She's a very simple dog. She likes to live a very simple life. But anyhow, here we are now talking about The Visit. It's not a bad movie. If you have time to watch it, go ahead and watch it because you're gonna be surprised. And this is gonna kind of spoil a little bit of it. There's gonna be two parts that I spoil I spoiled the Kurt Cobain part, but he doesn't end up killing himself. But if you watched it, good for you. If you haven't watched it, well, I'm gonna spoil it for you. But if you have watched it, rewatch it again because it's actually a good movie. But as a 15-year-old kid, you're watching this and you're kind of confused. And I remember seeing that movie this is actually funny because this was during the time where there was like a pedophile, and he invited me home to watch this movie. So I watched the movie with him, and that night nothing happened. But we're watching the movie and I mean, I was traumatized, not because of what he would go on to do to me. That also did traumatize me. But on that specific night, I was traumatized because of what I had like seen on screen. I was like, holy crap. Because there's a scene where they make that kid eat the diaper, like a dirty diaper. And you know whose mouth smells like a dirty diaper? Hers. But oh my god, I'm like, that was later on in the movie, but oh my god, when you're 15, you're like a walking orgasm. Like you could look at a peach. You could look at the Macy's catalog and use it for like imagination to do your own thing. But here I am as a 15-year-old kid watching this movie, thinking it's confusing, that it's eerie, scary, and then you know what scene I'm talking about. There's several nude scenes in this. Now it's no hot blonde, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be because who it is this cool. Well, this is where it's going to get a little filthy, and you're going to get to see who I am as a young 24-year-old. essentially now this is where it gets weird, because you're watching the movie and up until then it's all creepy, and out of nowhere these kids at night decide to like they put these cameras up and they hear like rambling and scratching and footsteps. So one of the kids steps out and he sees his supposed grandma walking like naked and clawing at the thing, like at the wall. And there's this beautiful piece of ass who's 80. I'm like, God damn. If at 15 I thought she was not bad, you know, you kind of you know, I rewatched it not too long ago, and I remember I was waiting for that. I was waiting. It was like Train Spotting. I was waiting for it. It's like counting. It's like how many yellow cars do you count? I was waiting for this specific scene because I was like, is it as good as I remember? And when they show those cheeks, when they show them cheeks, I remember being like, God damn. God damn. It's like Leslie Jordan said, Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust. And I remember I replayed it. I replayed that scene more than any other times I've replayed that scene in Titanic. You know what scene I'm talking about, where Jack is drawing Rose? Oh my God. And did you know that whole scene was CGI'd? Like she wasn't really there? No, I'm kidding. That's something off of Reddit. But anyhow, I kept rewinding and being like, who is? I was like, I need to look this woman up, because for her to be 80 years old and have that I was like, and I remember thinking, I was like, that uncle must be hitting that shit. It is a sin if he's not hitting that shit hard. And I'm gonna go to the adult websites and I'm gonna look up gilf corn. I am gonna, no denying it. If I could shoot a porno with her, I will do it with this hat. Nothing, put this hat on. And my tagline towards the end when I'm finishing it, I'm gonna be like this. Looks like there was a whole lot of inning, not a whole lot of outing. That's what I would do. And oh my God, I was like, holy crap. But no, as a 24-year-old, that's how down bad I am. Because you see that and shit. And I wish I was there on that set, because we would shoot that scene so many times, so many different angles. I would shoot it in Michael Bay, slow motion, because that woman. And I was talking with my friend, and I said, we were talking about how he was telling me about how his first kiss was to the taking of Deborah King, and how apparently there's like a nude scene in there, and he said that was his first kiss to that movie. And I said, I bet. And then he told me, F you. He said, F you. And I was like, no. I mean, like, not bad. Have you seen The Visit? He's like, we both knew what moment we were talking about in that movie. We were talking about no other than the scene that I just described to you. But prior to that, there's another scene where she's chasing these kids in an underground little like tunnel, not tunnel, but underneath the house. And oh my God. These kids are like trying to play a game of tag, and in comes hot grandma, and she makes Marisa Tomei, the hot aunt in Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movies, look like she's not that hot, and I'll die on the hill. I'll propose to that actress. I'll propose to that character in the lore of that universe, of that movie universe. She's crazy, but she'll give you a good time. She'll be scratching you and biting your ear off and shit like Mike Tyson, but it'll be a good time. And she comes out and she got her skirt all ruffled up, and you can see her cheek, just one of them this time, but it doesn't matter, because next time you see her all nude from the back. And we were just talking about how, like, why the hell would somebody do that? Like, who thinks to put an old woman like that nude? And I was like, well, they should have thought about it earlier, because it was a great scene. And that's one of my first. That's my crush. That's my movie crush. I don't know her name. I looked it up, but I don't know. All I can remember was what she looks like nude. And I'm just saying, if you have a crush and it's an unconventional crush, it's okay. I want to make sure I was recording. Don't want all this good footage to go to waste. But yeah, no, that brings that brings today's episode to an end, pretty much. Today was a good day because I went in and out and I got this hat. from one of the employees. I'm not gonna. I got it off eBay. That's where I got it off of, and I got a few stickers from In-N-Out and the whole shebang. But no, obviously I'm excited. I'm happy, and I hope you guys had a blast on this podcast. You know, none of this is supposed to be taken too serious. They're serious. They're not serious opinions. The things that nobody would ever say. But yes, I do feel 100% truth about this. And if that actress is still alive, I'll marry her. Shit. Man. And if whatever that grandpa is not, I think they died in the movie. But anyhow, don't be ashamed of your crush. And that's it for this week's episode. For today's episode, I should say, of the Broken Kid Podcast. And I hope to see you tomorrow and the day after that. And as long as I can, and take care.